Well, hello there, folks. It's me, RJB for RJB TV, returning yet again. Although, who else would it be except me, RJB from RJB TV, here on RJB TV YouTube channel, if not me? I mean, it's not as if someone else is going to start appearing and uploading videos on my channel. It's not as if some random bloke is going to show up and be like, hey, I'm JBR from RJB TV. That wouldn't quite make sense now. I mean, that's my channel. Only RJB would be showing up here. That aside, though, the silliness aside, always just gotta find something random to introduce myself with, because that's kind of how the game works. Gotta just introduce yourself randomly with some random gibberish. That's kind of what I do. Just random nonsense. Instead, I should actually just be introducing the players instead. We've got GangNamlife here on the Zerg, and Burgersasu right above him on the Terran. They're right next to each other. This can be kind of interesting. I mean, I'm gonna spoil one thing. This video is one single replay, which kind of spoils that this game, is gonna be long and epic. Usually, most of the times, these really long replays are just really awesome. Super awesome, at least at this level. The replays are awesome. So prepare yourself, do some stretches, get some water, get a snack, and sit down and relax. As you and I, together, we're going to sit here and react and respond and enjoy the action that GangNamlife and Burgersasu are going to deliver for you and me. We together, we're going to get through this. An hour-long replay. Usually I kind of avoid those really long replays because talking for an hour straight ain't easy. It's kind of taxing. It does kind of tire you out. Oh, but wait. I'm getting interrupted by Burgersasu going for the rush with an 8 barrack build order. Finds GangNamlife on the very first spawning location and starts building a bunker there in the choke to try and get some leverage down on GangNamlife. Is GangNamlife going to defend this one successfully or not? The Marine arrives on the scene, the bunker's finished up, Burgersasu is dancing back and forth a little bit, and GangNamlife is pulling, well, 2 Sunkens to the front. He feels he's got enough. He doesn't need those other 2 drones anymore in the choke. He's just there in case, but he doesn't really wind up needing them. Now, because GangNamlife put that hatchery a little bit further away from the entrance, which is a very smart thing to do if you know your opponent is a Terran, because it makes it so that whatever is here on the ledge, a tank, cannot hit the hatchery. So it's going to be a little bit harder for Burgersasu to kill the hatchery with tanks here on the sides. So yeah, GangNamlife defends that one pretty well, and Burgersasu is actually in a little bit of trouble here as Zerglings surround all of his Marines, and GangNamlife is now on the push back. He's going for a return attack. This is why I like GangNamlife. This guy really has just really good early game micro and decision making that I actually don't think I've seen others match, maybe except Brain. This guy is really smart. This guy, GangNamlife, in the past used to be the best 1v1 player. Before Brain, before Gense. He used to be the #1. For pretty much, he was the first fastest Gosu. That's kind of what you can describe this guy as. The very first Korean fastest Gosu. He's been around for a very long time, got a lot of experience, and because he's been around for so long, he has amazing game knowledge and insight. He successfully defended that bunker rush. Usually, I see people have a lot more trouble defending that one, but he defended it kind of effortlessly and managed to go for a kind of expensive counter-attack that killed some SCVs. I think he killed about 4 or 5 in total because a couple of SCVs got pulled off the minerals to help aid the attack, and then killed a large chunk of Marines. So yeah, he is keeping Burgersasu somewhat contained in his base, while he here at home is growing a little bit richer and bigger, and kind of more fortified with some Sunkens there in the choke. The Zergers are still running in circles, trying to avoid the Marines and Firebats. Not too great success, but he's been running around for about a minute now, so yeah, he does get some great information, but doesn't really kill anything anymore. Burgersasu got Firebat and a Marine, because of course you need Firebats against Zerglings. It really just melts them, burns them, fries them within a matter of seconds. Gonna try to walk right through. He was maybe, perhaps, expecting GangNamlife to have a more compact sunken configuration, but GangNamlife is kind of nicely pushing his sunkens forward a little bit. This is gonna keep his hatchery alive for longer, and it's also gonna make it more difficult for Firebats and Marines to just run by and run straight for the drones. And even if you went straight for the drones, there's the sunken here in the back. So GangNamlife has prepared himself for every single option Burgersasu has on the table. So Burgersasu growing a little bit richer. GangNamlife, though, already on a drone lead. That is kind of uncommon, but it is a consequence of that early rush from Burgersasu, sacrificing some economy to try and get leverage over GangNamlife. Didn't really work out that well. Because look at him, he's already got his hive on the way. We're only 6 minutes in. He started at about 5:45, I believe. He's getting 3 more hatcheries in the back. GangNamlife is growing really rich, really quick, which is gonna make me question, what is Burgersasu going to do to catch up? Because at this point, Burgersasu is behind on GangNamlife, and that is honestly impressive. That only 6.5 minutes in, Burgersasu has fallen behind economically and in terms of base size and structures on GangNamlife. That is not a very common thing. It's actually, I don't think I really see it happen all that much. It's really rare for a Terran to fall behind this early. He does have a tank drop there on the way, or is it a Firebat drop? It's a Firebat drop going straight for the drones. Do we have a Ultralisk group here ready to intercept the dropship? Can he unload those Firebats on the drones? The dropship goes down before anything unloads. That's a very, very, I don't want to call it a lucky call. A well-timed response from GangNamlife prevents disaster, being aware, not making a mistake. Here, though, that might be a little bit cutting it close, but the micro there on display is pretty good. Does not lose a single Ultralisk and kills a tank. Slows down the push. Now he's going to use the hill here on the bottom side to keep himself in the advantage. Like, just let me show you the Ultralisks. Like, this is why Ultralisks are so much better on this Korean map than on the Western map, because you can put those Ultralisks on the high ground and kind of make it difficult to fight back for the Marines, because those Marines don't have vision on the high ground. So the Ultralisk can just retreat onto the high ground time and time again and try to kill whatever they can as fast as they can without taking as much return fire as they would on the Western map. But here Burgersasu, they're pushing forward a little bit, but pulls back because there's too many Sunkens. Does kill the Sunken there with support from the Marines, and now the Ultralisks are back in action. Get the high finish and greatest fire there on the way from GangNamlife. He's getting enriched on 30 drones and 2,000 minerals. This guy is growing richer, and he's keeping Burgersasu at bay. But Burgersasu is dangerously close to progressing forward. Got the vessel there on the way, gonna try to radiate the Mutas or the drones. He's keeping the Mutas there in the back. He's expecting the Filer Lurker, but we've got Guardians on the way. And Burgersasu not having the information required to determine whether it is going to be the Filer Lurker or whether it's going to be Guardians is in for a surprise. We do have starports now on the way, so I do assume Burgersasu spotted out the Greater Spire with the vessel vision. I assume, not sure, but he's adapting and adjusting. Gonna try to get air defense up as fast as he can. GangNamlife didn't get enough gas. Didn't get enough extractors. He's playing this in a very small economy. His gas income is so low, he cannot even produce enough Guardians. Although he's got 2 of them. Number 3 on the way as well. Still a couple of meters there in the air. He's going to try to fend this one off. No radiate there on the vessel. Vessel has to run away, and it looks like GangNamlife is pushing Burgersasu back to his own base. Now going to go for the counterattack there with the Ultralisk. Going to try to capitalize on the advantage he just built himself. Guardians there are slowly contributing. Slowly more Guardians are entering the fray. Got some Scorch on the way as well to deal with the vessels there in the air, because they are pretty much the only line of defense against the Guardians. I'm going to have to stack up vessel energy, get some radiates down on the Guardians to try and kill them. He has 2 vessels, one with radiate energy and the other one is still getting energy. So Burgersasu there gets himself a pretty good defensive position. Zergans are coming in. Vessels are getting taken down by Scourges. One of the vessels survives because the Scourge got taken down before it could hit. Now Guardians are coming from the southern side, but he's to pull back because all the Zerglings died. And we've got some Wraiths on the scene as well. Although, did he just kill the Wraiths with Scourges? Ooh, GangNamlife, you are on fire. He's having trouble spending his minerals there, though. He's on 2,000 minerals in total. He's got 9 drones on the gas. Yeah, he's having trouble spending his minerals, but he's keeping Burgersasu occupied, keeping him contained. He's dealing damage, and he's not taking any damage himself. He's adding on 2 more hatcheries there on the bottom side. He's got 7 hatcheries in the back. 7 in total. That's pretty rich at this point in the game for the state the game is in. So Burgersasu quickly building new... How is Burgersasu going to survive this? He's losing supply depots on the bottom side. He cannot produce any units at all. He's building new supply depots on the top side, but Zergans are attacking the top side. He's got enough marines there, though, to defend the starports. Will the starport go down? No, I don't think it will. It will probably stay alive. So Guardian Devourer attacking from the southern side. I've honestly rarely ever seen Burgersasu be in this much trouble so early on in a Terran against Zerg. Most of the time, this guy completely dominates Terran against Zerg, but it looks like the tables are getting flipped on him. Radiator comes down. Do we have the Defiler Mount on the way from him? Not yet. Got an Ultralisk Cavern on the way. Now that is spicy. Ultralisk Cavern on the way from GangNamlife. Skipping the fighters, skipping lurkers, skipping Hydralisks. He's going air. I don't know if he can even afford Ultralisk, with maybe having 2 or maybe even 1 Ultralisk in the mix is enough to topple the fight in his favor and definitively kill Burgersasu. Burgersasu here moving in, gonna try to target fire on the Guardians, takes both of them down with Marine Wraith support. The Varus not providing enough protection for the Guardians. The Varus are chasing the Wraiths, gonna get pulled into their deaths. Both players are growing with their economies. Now 41 SCVs for Burger and 38 drones there for GangNamlife, trying to pick off and kill those starports with the Zerglings so he can send in another wave of Guardians. But the fact that his gas is so low is now kind of taking the wind out of his attack. It's kind of ruining the attack. He simply cannot build enough units to keep on attacking. So that's GangNamlife's only mistake here. It was a pretty strong attack, a really good defense there from Burgersasu. The defense, he was so focused on defending, he didn't even have time to neatly place his supply depots as they should be built and placed. It's just kind of a mess here on the top side. It's kind of a mess. But more importantly, Burgersasu has survived the attacks, but GangNamlife is getting rich. 42 drones, 2,000 minerals in the bank, adding on more extractors for more gas. Got the Ultralisk Cavern finished up. He's getting Carapace. He's getting Ultralisk Speed as well. Things are looking very, very dangerous for Burgersasu. He's growing bigger though. He's got another command center on the way. GangNamlife is exploding economically. Now 56 drones. He's got so many hatcheries here on the bottom side. 6 of them in a row. And 1 more on the way on the top, so 9 in total at the moment. Definitely more production ability than Burgersasu at the moment has, but Burgersasu is hanging in there. He hasn't died yet. Another wave of Guardians on the way, some Devouras in the back and Scourges as well. The only thing he's got to rely on are some Goliaths and Wraiths. I think those Goliaths and Wraiths combined together are going to be enough to defend himself. Zerglings sneaking in at the same time as well. He's distracting on both sides. He's pulling back the Guardians. He just wanted to get those Zerglings in and see what was up. See what Burgersasu's base was looking like. Kill maybe a couple of SCVs there building structures. Mostly just there to harass. And more hatcheries on the way. Another 4. So we're going to be on 13 hatcheries there from GangNamlife. He's actually just growing really quick. He knows he has the advantage economically. So he's just taking his time to grow bigger and build up. There's a spider coming down from the ceiling, so I'm going to kill the spider really quick before it becomes kind of annoying to deal with. I mean, there's a small group of spiders that's always trying to connect. There's 2 spiders here even, 2 spiders. Small group of spiders always trying to build a web to my laptop. I'm not sure why they chose my laptop to build a web to, but there's like a beam right next to me. In front of me, right next to me in front of me, and they build a web from the beam to my laptop screen And so every now and then I see a spider coming down from its threat, trying to connect with my laptop. With a web. Not the interweb, but an actual physical web. And I just have to like grab like something, piece of paper, and squash them in the paper, and it's all dealt with. Maybe a little bit cruel to kill spiders, but please do not take over my territory. This is my laptop, and not yours. So we've got some lurkers here, Ultralisks here from GangNamlife. Burgersasu, unluckily though, well, luckily for Burgersasu, unluckily for GangNamlife, he spots out all the Ultralisks entering the middle, so he can prepare himself with a counterattack. We've got some Valkyrie Wraith here on the hunt for some Overlords, killing most of the Scourge, so he's got no anti-air to defend himself with except some spores, but Overlords are going down, so GangNamlife has to very quickly attack, but there's something being built there in the choke. He's building a wall. Ultralisk is going to have to break through at first, not easy to do. This might just buy Burgersasu enough time. Oh, so many Ultralisks with level, I think, 3 Carapace, so that's basically just the Carapace upgrade from the Ultralisk Cavern building. Ultralisks are trying to break through, but they're simply too big, too clunky and clumsy to actually really break through. So enough tanks are to defend. Overlords dying for GangNamlife is slowing down his ability to build a big army. More Zergs and Ultralisks are on the way, going to try to keep breaking through over the top side. So he's going to try, he's trying to surround. But as I said before, there's just not enough room for the big, clumsy Ultralisks to walk through and get on top of those tanks. So while he's keeping up the pressure, he actually is kind of supply blocked. He had to build a lot of new Overlords. He's got 67 drones. Those 67 drones, he's in pretty good shape. I think we counted about 13 hatcheries in total. He's got a Defiler mount now as well. He's got upgrades on the way for his ground and air. He's got Consumed Air being researched. Does he have a Lurker aspect? I don't know. But he might switch over into Lurkers very soon. He's got level 1 Carapace finished up there. Burgersasu, on the other hand, is spreading out his tanks, making it as difficult as possible to kill them all at once. Level 1 attack, they're finished up, putting some tanks in the high ground. Goliaths with half their Karen booster upgrade finished for longer Goliath range. Couple lurkers, well, Hydralisks and Ultralisks on the middle. It's going to make sure that he can counter from a different direction, a different angle. Valkyries on the map there, looking for Overlords or whatever they can find, gathering information. Burgersasu on 70 SCVs, mining from 6 refineries, getting a couple more command centuries, and flying back and forth with the Valkyries, getting information, and I'm just seeing a lot of things that end with ease because I can, and sometimes it's just fun to do it. Sometimes it's fun to end a lot of words with ease and emphasize the end of the words. So he's got 3 armories there. It's still a mess. Like you can see he doesn't care anymore. He just wants to get those structures down and keep up with GangNamlife and set up a defensive perimeter, a perimeter or zone of control here above GangNamlife's base to make it pretty much impossible for GangNamlife to just walk through his choke without getting completely shot to shreds by those siege tanks on the high ground. But he's progressing really quick. He's getting Ensnare, getting air and ground carapace, getting melee attack, getting Overlord transportation. He's getting a lot of things at the same time. Getting a second Spire as well. Guardians, Devourers on the way. He's pretty rich, 81 drones. This guy has just grown really quick, but hasn't managed to deal a really damaging blow to Burgersasu for the past 5 or so minutes. So both players have kind of just been growing. There have been attempts from GangNamlife to injure. Likewise, Burgersasu has been killing Overlords to slow down that production. Successfully did so. Managed to keep GangNamlife from sending in massive waves of attacks continuously in one long stream. And it might have saved his life to kill those Overlords because he's recovered and he's now maxed out. We've got a Parasite on the hill. Actually pretty smart to get that information. Now he kind of always knows what's here. He always has vision of Burgersasu's units. Guardians are coming in. Guardians are killing the ground forces. Now Valkyries are coming in to save the day. gonna try to kill all of the Guardians before the Devourers debuff all of them. A Plague on the Valkyries, job well done. They're gonna die pretty quick, hoping to keep those Guardians alive, splitting them up. One half goes down. Will the other half survive? Yeah, a couple of Guardians do survive. Oh, but now we got Vessels with Irradiate coming in to kill the drones. Gonna try to snipe them all. Snipes them all. Great target firing there. So now we've got a little pushback here from Gangnam onto Burger. Burger has to rebuild a lot of supply there. I think he lost about 40 to 45 supply in total. Takes a little while to rebuild all of that, but attacks on the hill are preventing GangNamlife from moving out with his Hydralisks into the middle. So first, let's kill those tanks on the high ground with the Guardians. Got 14 more Guardians morphing. Valkyrie there. Not sure whether he should... Yeah, he's gonna ball up more Valkyries. Gonna try to kill as many air units as he can. Goliaths on the low ground from afar, taking down the Devourers. Guardians are doing a pretty good job. Another Plague there on the Valkyries. Guardians do get taken down there by the Valks. The Valks are just overall, even if debuffed by Devourers, pretty awesome units against air. Got Guardians coming in. Got Queens behind the hill. Hylists have to pull back a little bit. Burgersasu trying to put more tanks on the high ground, but might as well wait for now until those Guardians are dealt with. Valkyries coming in to save the day. No Devourers on the scene to debuff them at the moment. Guardians are keeping up the pressure. GangNamlife forced to retreat back into his base. Valkyries clear out all the air units. A couple of them are still alive. Going to try to get a Plague down on the Valkyries, and they do get Plague. The Queen pays for it with his life. Starting to see starports being built on the middle as well from Burgersasu. You got 6 starports, and I think about, I'd say, 12. And it's about 16 factories at the moment. He's got enough production going on to keep up with that Zerg production of 13 hatcheries in total. 14 hatcheries, actually. He added one more there on the side. A new group of Devourers coming in. Guardians are not really well split out, so most of the Guardians will probably die to the Devourers before the Valkyries are sufficiently debuffed by the Devourers. The air is currently on 2 Carapace, 0 attack. Likewise, 2 attack there for Burgersasu, 0 armor. The tanks are on 1, 2. The Hydras are on... Let me see the Hydras. 2 Carapace, 0 attack. So he's kind of just getting a lot of defensive upgrades. Now he's successfully pushing through the hill. A lot more Devourers, so the Valkyries are no longer that much of an issue. Got more Goliaths now coming in though, and Devourers, historically speaking, given that they can only shoot at air units, are not going to be that great against the Goliath. So pretty good switch up there from Burgersasu, going for a larger Goliath army instead of a larger tank army, because if there are only air units from GangNamlife, you don't really need those tanks. Another group of vessels coming in, not enough units to snipe them all out of the air, so he's going to get radiated. Does he have Burrow? Does not look like he got Burrow. Oh, this is going to buy Burgersasu a whole lot of time. Kills about 30 drones there on the minerals. I think that killed most of the drones on the minerals. Went down from 80 to 50, yeah. Got 30 drones there on the gas. So 20 drones remain on the minerals at the moment. He's building a new group of drones. About 16, 18, 24. He really wants to get his economy back in order as fast as he can, while he still has the minerals to do so. So another group of Guardians and Devourers having an intense battle here next to the hill. Hydras can't really participate. They're mostly there to shoot on the Valkyries moving too close to the Guardians, but the tanks behind the hill kill all the Hydras. So we're mostly just seeing an intense battle, an intense contest where Burgersasu really wants control over this portion, and GangNamlife is trying to stop him from having control. So we're just probably going to be seeing a fight here, a back and forth non-stop for the next 20 or so minutes over whoever can control the hill. Whoever controls the hill wins the game. At least that is what both these players are believing in. GangNamlife has to kill these units behind the hill to move out with a crowned army. Or what he can do is he can proxy a Nidus somewhere on the map and maybe move from a different direction. But what we know for sure is Burgersasu does not want to lose the strongest position on the map at the moment. This nice little corner hill. Air is on 2 carapace, soon to be on 3. I don't see any ground units, so we can't really look for ground upgrades. 3 carapace for the ground. He's spending so much gas, he's kind of low on gas. Burgersasu is spending money so quick, he's kind of low on money. Although 2,000 minerals, 2,000 gas, not exactly low, but not super high either. So Guardians coming from 2 directions. The Vars are trying to defend, all of the Valkyries are getting debuffed, they're getting plagued as well. That plague is going to make the difference though, the Vars do all get completely destroyed. So we're a little bit too grouped up. Now Goliaths from the local are taking care of the Guardians, so GangNamlife losing his army really quick, and he's got no Lurkers, no Dark Swarm here on the sea. He does have the Defilers, but no Lurkers. So a Dark Swarm wouldn't really be that helpful. A lot of Hylics and Zergans are on the way. This is... Oh, Burgersasu is pushing back with the help of that very good defensive position here. The hill. The corner hill really is allowing him to just push into GangNamlife's base. And he's setting up shop. He's setting up shop. Got some Ultras on the way there from GangNamlife. Got some Zergans that tried to kill some units. They killed a couple of units, but didn't really achieve that much. So he's got some tanks there below the Dark Swarms. Zerglings below the Dark Swarms are helping. He's using... Oh, he killed a tank with Spawn Brutling. GangNamlife really is using every single unit that the Zerg has to try and defend and stay alive. But most importantly, Burgersasu has managed to flip the tables onto GangNamlife and get himself into the offensive position. He was defending for about 20 minutes in a row, 20 minutes straight defending, but he's managed to flip the tables, and now GangNamlife is getting pushed into the corner. He is now taking and assuming the defensive role. Goes to show that Burgersasu with his 400 APM is an absolute monster of a player to deal with. So this time around we only have 4 tanks, 6 tanks, a couple more tanks rolling up, just finished up, gonna siege up behind the hill. Once again, using that defensive ledge position to help him defend, but the Ultralisk are absolutely destroying those Goliaths in this pathway. They're so tanky with their 5 carapace. They got 5 carapace, that's 6 damage reduction. And they're marching into the base, but oh, this is such a tight, narrow space, they can't get through. The SUV is blocking everything, so he has to walk all the way around to have access to this entire top portion of the base. He's basically just trying to get as far away from the tanks as humanly possible. Got Valkyries are hunting down Overlords in GangNamlife's base as well. Let's hope those spores kill the Valkyries in time before he gets supply blocked. I'm gonna go after the armories. The Goliaths really are not doing that much damage against the Ultralisks. Just look at them, they're still alive, running back and forth, taking tiny little bits of damage and sometimes even recovering health faster than they take damage. But they do go down in the end. GangNamlife finally has some Lurkers. He's got a big Overlord drop here on... No, not Overlord drop, just Overlords. More mutants are spawning as well. So this time around he does have Lurker Swarm. A large army of Mutalisks there going to clear out those tanks on the high ground. Goliaths are doing a great job taking out the Mutalisks though. But more importantly, GangNamlife got down the Lurker Swarm there. Doesn't really seal off the entrance though, because there's tanks on the hill and behind the hill are making it very difficult for him to get his Lurkers in close to his choke. So he's kind of swarming and burrowing up a little bit further away. This time around he does get in close because he has some Ultralisks to help him take damage to keep those Lurkers alive and allow them to arrive and set up shop here to burrow up. Radies are coming down once again. Gets a raid on the drones. Do the drones burrow up? The drones do burrow all up, and they do mostly stay alive. He did lose about 10, but nothing to be worried about. Didn't extend the Dark Swarm there, but we don't have detection on the scene because he just used all of his vessels to kill the drones. And he only got 10 of them. But the vessels, the Valkyries in the air are keeping pretty much all of the air options dead. The Vars are coming in to try and kill. Vessels coming in once again. Always doing so many things at the same time. Snipes most of the vessels, but he gets double radiate down there on the drones. And GangNamlife burrows up, but a little bit late because he does lose 20 more drones. So 30 drones dead and gone in less than 30 seconds. But he's successful. I need some water. But he successfully... Wow. Okay. I should have drank some water earlier. But he successfully defends. his base. Still has not regained control over the hill. It's still in Burgersasu's hands. Okay. My voice is back again. Sometimes you just have to drink a little bit of water, take about 5 to 10 seconds of rest for your voice, which I'm not doing, and the voice recovers. Sometimes it takes a little bit, like sometimes just a small little itch on your vocal cords, maybe a little bit of slime on your vocal cords, and then all of a sudden you can no longer speak. So he gets the lurker swarm up in time. Burgersasu is going to try to walk right past, but loses a lot of his tanks in the process, but sets up enough tanks there in the corner to be a threat in that corner. Let's take down those spores and make it easier for those Valkyries and vessels to keep on harassing and harassing. Burgersasu really is playing super fast. It is insane. But GangNamlife with about half the APM is keeping up with Burgersasu's absolutely insane playing speed. So once again, Zergling, Ultralisk, Guardian mix, a couple lurkers in the front taking down those Goliath. Goliath just walking right through, ignoring the damage. Yeah, another Plague, and he clears out that corner as well. So Plague on the Valkyries, not on all of them, but on most of them. Tanks in the corner have died. Tanks behind the hill still alive, still preventing GangNamlife to go for the counterattack. Really, if only he had a proxy Nidus. So like, if he had a Nidus here, you just walk right in from the front door, completely ignore all those tanks that are on the corridor, and he would just smash open. Well, he has to kill this first, which would give Burgersasu probably just enough time to unsiege and relocate his tanks to protect his choke. So these structures on the middle are actually more useful than you would assume. They're not just there because they needed more space. I mean, he did need more space. But they also serve the function of spotting out any unit and slowing them down. Any unit coming from the other side of the map, gonna have to kill this first. But once again, tries to get tanks into the corner. He's got some tanks on the high ground there to help and support. The Hiders are coming in to kill as much as he can. The Lurker swarm in the front. Only one of the Lurkers is within range. There's actually only one Lurker in there. Guardians coming in with the Varas once again. Valkyries in the back, shooting on whatever they can. Vessels moving forward with the Radiate raiding on all the Guardians. This is a really intense fight happening here. Actually, this is going to be the thumbnail, so just let me get a screenshot here. This looks really good. Like, you got every single little particle that you want happening there on the screen. Red, purple, blue, and red, and green, whatever else there is. A lot of particle porn happening. And it looks like the Devourers and Guardians actually are pushing through. They broke through the contain. Burgersasu still has some units behind the hills. He has some tanks on the high ground. But GangNamlife is pushing through. He's got more Mulists on the way. But he still can't quite walk through the pathway. His corridor, there's still a lurker, still a tank on the high ground, still a couple more tanks behind the hill, a lot of tanks in the choke here. It's still not quite possible for GangNamlife to walk through and attack through the front. He still has to fight for this hill. The past 20 minutes have been a fight for control over this section. To both players, it is the win condition. Whoever has control is going to have an easier time pushing on their opponent. But so far, GangNamlife has been doing one of the best jobs I've ever seen defending against Burgersasu. I've never seen someone defend Zerg against Terran this well against Burgersasu, because as we've seen so far, Burgersasu is constantly moving back and forth, constantly attacking, constantly setting up. Then he's going to go for your drones, then he goes for the Overlords, then he goes for the Guardians. It is a non-stop battle of being aware, being fast, doing the right things, making the right choices. How do you keep up with this man? Well, GangNamlife is doing it successfully with half the APM, which is really impressive. This guy is so efficient, so smart. Except, of course, no proxy Nidus. That's the one downside of having a lower APM. If you play against a really high APM opponent, sometimes it eats up all your APM just to keep up, and that's kind of what we're seeing. Burgersasu is playing so fast that GangNamlife is completely occupied with just keeping up and defending. He isn't really allowed any room, any actions to get a proxy base up and running. Every single action is going into stopping Burgersasu from advancing. Burgersasu still has control over the hill. He still has control over the hill, and this time around, he set himself up pretty strongly. Did lose most of his Valkyries though, and a large group of Guardians is going to spawn before the Valkyries spawn, and then he might have about 10 seconds of time to push these tanks out of his base. And hopefully, once the Valkyries do arrive on the scene, the Devourers are going to debuff them quick enough. Ooh, there's a Radiate coming in. Radiates on the Guardians, Radiates on the drones. Drones all burrow up in record speeds. That's just really quick burrowing of all the drone groups. And yeah, and here we have got the pushback. Valkyries have spawned, they're grouping up. We've got the Devourers, they're trying to push back against the air units. Valkyries are coming in to clear out this group here on the left. We don't have enough Devourers from GangNamlife to actually debuff all the Valkyries, so the Valkyries are going to do a great job there. Lurkers in the front are doing a good job, although they do get scanned. They're going to get taken down by the Goliaths and the tanks in the front. He didn't Lurker swarm again quick enough. He still has one Lurker below. No Lurkers underneath that Dark Swarm, so the Dark Swarm is actually helping those Goliaths stay alive. Although he moves them away. Maybe he should have just kept them in there. So a large group of Valkyries. GangNamlife did lose some drones there on the top side. I think he lost about 9 drones there on the gas. He's down to 60 once again. Valkyries coming in to kill Overlords as well. Burgersasu really is just making this almost impossible to keep up with. Keeping up with Burgersasu, it just seems impossible to do. GangNamlife though, it's not over yet. He did lose control over the northern side of his base. This hill has been an absolute pain in his ass. Absolutely impossible to break through. He's slowly getting lower on minerals there though. He did set up a nice group of Lurkers there in the choke. But he has to take care of those units on the high ground, and I don't think those Ultras are going to do the job. The Ultras are going to just kind of run right through those tanks and enter the middle after killing the Goliaths. He's moving into the middle. Going to try to ignore those tanks on the high ground and get a surround on those tanks on the middle and hopefully push through them. But he does have enough tanks here inside of his own choke to kill those Ultralisks before they become an actual big problem. Wait, what's this? Did he fly all the way around the map with this small group of Overlords to get a drop down? Got Lurkers, Defianters, and Zerglings. He's going to arrive on the scene. There's nothing here to defend. Burgersasu notices Burgersasu is responding. Burgersasu is pulling tanks and Valkyries back to his base. The Lurkers burrow up. The Dark Swarm comes down, and he gets control over the main command center of Burgersasu. Burgersasu is teaching up his tanks. Did pull most of his SVs to safety. But that command center is in danger. It's gonna go down. It got plagued. There's a Dark Swarm. Double Dark Swarm, in fact. The fighter is still alive. Still has energy for another Dark Swarm. The Ultras are still there wreaking havoc. He cannot unburrow them, though. He cannot unburrow them. Because then they immediately die to the tank shots. But at least he killed the command center and killed about, I'd say, 12 SCVs as well. He was at about 60, now down to 48. Now the game is going to be very difficult for Burgersasu. Because we have a large group of Ultralisk and Guardians on the way to follow up on that attack. Dark Swarm that in the front is going to provide some protection for those tanks. But he's moving away from the Dark Swarm because he doesn't know if Zerglings and Lurkers are on the way. Burgersasu, in fact, is feeling so threatened at the moment. He's entirely retreating from GangNamlife's base because he feels he cannot afford to lose any units because he doesn't know how much money GangNamlife has. So the Valkyries are in the front to keep those Guardians away. We've got the Devourers being morphed as well, 20 of them in total. He's going for an absolutely humongous Devourer army. Plagues on the vessels. Ooh, plagues on both the vessels and the Valkyries at the same time. So all those units have been weakened up. Gets a Parasite down as well for some vision on the high ground. Which one did he get a Parasite on? Which one is it? Oh, I don't know which one it is. There's too many units here to click on to determine which of those units has the parasite. But the Burgersasu moving forward, all of his tanks setting up shop inside of GangNamlife's base. The Valkyries are moving forward. They're all plagued though, so they're all gonna die really, really quick. Now we've got a huge attack there coming from GangNamlife. Burgersasu pushed forward. The Dark Swarm, they're in the front. Is there a lurker in there? There's a lurker in there. It's helping him kill those units that are underneath the Dark Swarm. Ooh, so many radiants coming down on the Devourers, but there's still about 12 Devourers alive. The Guardians are pushing forward as well. Oh yes, GangNamlife is on the pushback. And Burgersasu is low on minerals. Look at him go. Down to 300, 400 minerals. He's losing a lot of supply really quickly. Couple more Goliaths coming in to try and kill as many Guardians as he can, while trying to stay out of Lurker range as well, but the Lurker zones the Goliaths away, so the Guardians have free fire on those tanks. The high ground Valkyries are spawning though, so the Valkyries are going to be a problem for GangNamlife's air units here to deal with. They have a lot of Devourers, but I do think those Valkyries, once they do come in, they will be able to kill most of the Guardians just quick enough. And he doesn't have any Guardians left except this one single Guardian that's going to get taken down by this Goliaths. So it does look, it does appear that Burgersasu is going to keep control over the hill for now. Scans the Lurkers, takes down the Lurkers, so the Lurker swarm in the front has been taken down as well. We have a lot of Ultralisk, a lot of Zerglings that are coming out from GangNamlife, going to try to go for the counterattack, but those tanks on the high ground are going to be an absolute pain. They're going to completely stop the attack, I'm sure. He's breaking through though, but nothing to kill those tanks on the high ground. And you can see that those tanks on the high ground and behind the high ground are causing the Ultralisks to trip out. More mutas on the back there though, more mutas in the back. A lot of Mutalisks morphing. Oh, Burgersasu still going strong despite losing his economy partially and losing his main command center. Both players kind of low on minerals because neither of the two has a high amount of workers. There's no lurkers at the moment here from GangNamlife, but he is preparing himself for another pushback against Burgersasu. But I'm not sure if those Dark Swarms are really helping him out too much. The Dark Swarms are actually he's trying to set up Dark Swarms for the Zerglings, that the Goliaths cannot hit the Zerglings, but there are, I believe, enough tanks to kill the Zerglings. So those Dark Swarms might actually backfire. Double radiate on the drones. Drones do burrow up in time, so not going to lose more than 2. Yeah, now the Goliaths have protection from the Dark Swarm, so GangNamlife has to wait for the Dark Swarms to end, or get his Lurkers under there really, really quick. Lurkers have finished up, they're moving forward. Can he burrow them up in time? Yes, he gets a group of them burrowed up. Goliaths are getting zoned away, but there's still a Dark Swarm there protecting some Goliaths. Goliaths on the side there, taking down the Devourers. Valkyries are flying back and forth. Devourers are being pulled back. Guards moving forward. Lurkers have set up their shop. Lurkers have set up their defensive position. Down to 58 drones in total. Both players low on money, struggling to produce, struggling to max out. Guardians getting taken down before the Devourers arrive on the scene. He's got enough Goliaths there as well. Zerglings are moving forward now as well. He has to move forward those Lurkers. You gotta move forward those Lurkers. Another Dark Swarm, get them right in front of those Goliaths and tanks. Ooh, doesn't get them in there, didn't move them. Oh, now he's gonna move them forward. Gets a couple of Lurkers underneath the Dark Swarm, so he's slowly pushing Burgersasu back to the hill. Burgersasu got really close. Burgersasu had his units all the way up to here, but he's been pushed back a little bit further north, so GangNamlife is in a little bit of a safer position. But yeah, both players are kind of broke. You need more drones, you need more SCVs. Both players are struggling to produce, but they're not slowing down with the aggression. Neither player is slowing down with the fighting. Neither player wants to give their opponent a chance to get definitive control over the game. There's no Valkyries. Burgersasu cannot avoid Valkyries. He does have a lot of Goliaths though. So the Goliaths are going to try to defend against the Guardians. Hydralisks on the low ground are participating, going to try to keep those Goliaths from killing all of the Guardians. It's kind of working. He's pushing back. But the no Goliaths left alive. He killed them all. More Goliaths are coming from across the map there, though, from the base. Zerglings are moving in to try and clear all the tanks out in the base. And he's done it. He killed all the tanks. Goliaths are showing up. And I'm sure after those Goliaths, a couple more actually, He cannot afford more tanks. He's not making any tanks. He's making Goliaths and vessels. He cannot afford tanks. He built a couple more SCVs, now up to 60. He might go for 70 in total because he's realizing his money is kind of low. And GangNamlife kind of in the same position, but GangNamlife does not want to build drones because building drones means he's giving Burgersasu more time to recover. He has to keep up the pressure. He's pushing him away from the hill. He managed to get control over the hill. It looks like GangNamlife is finally doing it. Burgersasu pulling back a little bit. Guardians are on the chase. Guardians just have to kill those tanks on the hill. And I'm gonna... Oh, radiates! Radiates! Oh no! Oh no. Those radiates came at a time that GangNamlife was not paying attention. The one single time he was not paying attention, he loses most of his drones there to a radiate coming from the side. So now all he has to do is keep those lurkers in the front alive and make sure Burgersasu is not gonna push through and set up tanks on the hill. The lurkers are in the perfect position to keep units away from the hill. Although, can they shoot across the hill? I'm not too sure. They cannot reach this. So all he has... Okay, they can reach. They can reach, but they need vision. Ultralisk moving through the middle, so he spent a lot of money on the Ultras to try and clear out those Goliaths before the Goliaths become a problem. The fighters are getting sniped there, though. Ooh, one of them stays alive. Now the Guardians are clearing out the tanks behind the hill. This should be enough to defend against the Ultralisks. He's getting a Dark Swarm down there. Micros the Goliaths back away from the Dark Swarm. Another Radiator coming out. Oh, please, GangNamlife, do not die to the Radiate. Burrows up. Got Scorches on the way. He's got exactly 7 groups of Scorches, so about 14 Scorches in total being built to defend. 81 SUVs now from Burgersasu against 41 drones from GangNamlife. GangNamlife's in a really difficult position. He's got to get another Dark Swarm up there in the front really quick, though. You meet Dark Swarm there up in the front. Oh, no, they're going to get taken down. Oh, another Radiator coming out. Vessels are on the hunt. Valkyrie's in the air. GangNamlife is broke. More broke than Burgersasu. Cannot quite get the vessels killed there, though. Got more Scorches on the way and the fighters as well. 2 lurkers in the front that are still alive. Got a couple more lurkers there as well. Gets a raid down on the drones, but the drones all burrow up. Guardians all still... This is becoming a battle of trying to not die. Like, they're standing. Both players are standing on the edge of a cliff. And staying alive, not falling off, is going to determine who wins and who dies. Okay, just in time, they're in the front. GangNamlife is trying to save up money for more drones. Burgersasu is once again pretty rich with 88 SCVs for armed gas, minerals, and everything else. He's going to be maxed out very soon, but he cannot move forward at the moment. He cannot move forward at the moment. And we've got a GangNamlife on 39 drones, almost no army, scrambling to get more lurkers up in the front, because that's kind of what he has to do, is get more lurkers up in the front. Couple Guardians are going to take care of some turrets, going to put them there on hold position so to ensure they don't crawl forward too much. GangNamlife is slowly getting richer. He kind of needs 2 more groups of drones. He's not making them. He's planning on playing out the game on a small economy and a small army. And I think he just has to buy himself more time, but Valkyrie's coming in to kill the Guardians. Looks like Burgersasu is completely and fully operational once again, and we have a group of 15 drones are on the way from GangNamlife. He's going to try to recover. Goliaths are just going to walk through. A big problem there for GangNamlife. Not enough lurkers in the front. The tanks and Goliaths do take some damage there, though. Another group of lurkers are moving forward. He's going to get a Dark Swarm down in time. Gets a scan. Oh no, no energy for a Dark Swarm. No energy for a Dark Swarm. Please get the Dark Swarm down in time. Radius coming down there on the drones. Drones do burrow up, please. The drones do burrow up in time. Kills a couple of them, but not enough. And GangNamlife once again defends. Barely. But he's richer once again. He's got 2,000 minerals. Only 41 drones, though. He's making a group of drones. But not really making any units at the moment. He's busy organizing his drones, organizing his economy, organizing his base, trying to keep up, trying to make a plan, trying to think of what to do to stay alive. against this now very rich Burgersasu with 93 SCVs. His army will never really be big again for Burgersasu. He'll always have a kind of a small army because he simply needs so many SCVs to produce non-stop. Whereas in that sense, if GangNamlife manages to survive for another minute or two and get his economy back in shape, he should be able to win the game by virtue of having a bigger army. But he still has to reorganize all of his drones back onto the gas, has to keep up the Lurker Swarm there in the front. He is busy reorganizing and recovering. Burgersasu at the moment is also doing the same. He's setting up a pretty good choke there in the front, just to make sure that Ultralisks are not gonna barge through. So both players kind of in defensive mode. Got Valkyries and tanks coming in. Oh, he's gonna try to tank drop the drones. Oh, he's running away with the drones. Oh, but the tanks are there in the back and there's nothing to defend. Oh, he's gonna go for the hive. Gonna try to take down the hive and equalize the game by killing the hive and making sure that GangNamlife does not have a main of his own. Is going down pretty quick. Can he save it? Oh no! Hive goes down. Drones return. Luckily he still has the drones. Luckily he still has the drones. And also on this map, losing your main is a little bit less impactful than on the western map. Like, this is not the end of the game yet. It's not over yet. He still has all of his technology structures. Got the Great Spire, the Father Mount, Ultralisk Cave, got the Hydralisk Den. He still has everything he needs to defend, and his supply is on about 150. But Burgersasu is going for the drop technology, the drop strategies, putting units back onto the high grounds. He wants to get control. He's going to land somewhere inside of GangNamlife's base, but GangNamlife now has Guardians on the way, so it should be a little bit easier to defend against those dropships. Loading units all over the place. He's putting them on the high ground on the right side. Valkyries are coming in as well. We don't have the Vars, but we do have some of the pilots with, I assume, Plague. They can take care of those Valkyries, but he really does need some of the Vars. He's morphing a single one of them. Just one Devar might not be enough. Valkyries are moving back to the base. So actually there's a nice little time frame for the Guardians to take down those tanks. It's a nice little time frame to take down those tanks on the side while the Valkyries are not there, although the Valkyries are moving over really quick. Ooh, he's gonna try to intercept them. Gonna try to plague them. Splits them up. Gets a plague on them, pulls back the Guardians, doesn't want to lose them. Oh, more tanks are loading it inside of GangNamlife's base. Oh, Burgersasu with the absolutely nasty two-sided attack. Tanks on one high ground, tanks unloading on the other side, splitting up GangNamlife, and GangNamlife is... I think Burgersasu knows that the game is over. I think Burgersasu at this point realizes that he's done it. I think he knows he's done it. 22 drones for GangNamlife. Not enough Devourers. Does have a lot of minerals, but no Devourers. I think he lost the Devourers to the Valkyries while defending. Although he killed the Valkyries, so at least he killed those Valkyries. At least those Valkyries are no longer a thorn in his side at the moment, but more are spawning. GangNamlife is just having so much trouble recovering. He's got to do so many things all at the same time. He's got to clear out units on the side, got to rebuild his drones, got to rebuild his economy, got to rebuild his base. There's so many things to do. Making choices at this point is so damn difficult as GangNamlife. Guardians though moving forward, but Mass Valkyrie is going to clear them out of the air. Dropships there moving forward as well. It looks like GangNamlife simply does not have enough. Not anymore. It was very close to what I thought he was going to win after he killed the main command center of Burgersasu. Burgersasu hit him with a counter drone kill with the radiate spam on the drone. Successfully kept going in and killing drones. All it took was just killing those drones once. And then the game snowballed. The game just kept snowballing. So yeah, GangNamlife might have gambled slightly wrong, I assume. And now just dropships keep on flying tanks, Valkyries, and Goliaths over. GangNamlife gonna try to defend this one with a large group of Hydralisks and Zerglings. His last effort, his last attempt at defending. Everything just went down. He did clear out about 5 or 6 tanks and 5 Goliaths, but there's still about 8 tanks there alive. north of his base, and he doesn't have anything, and he leaves the game. It's a GG. Burgersasu is victorious. He claims victory from the jaws of defeat. He was close to dying about 2 times, maybe 3 times. He held on for just long enough to win the game in the end. RGB for RGB TV, I hope you enjoyed this 1 hour long game. Very long, intense fighting. But in the end, Burgersasu once again comes out on top.